Hello and welcome to the Flooring Models Friday Roundup show. Here we are with you on the 3rd of May 2024. Another really good week. Obviously pushing in, finishing off very much the Y-Wing and getting it completed. And as you can see, she is all done, mounted up and looking fantastic. We'll talk about that one in a moment. I've done a little bit more work actually on the Apache this week as well. So we've got the glass work all fitted into this one. We've got the top section on and had a few little fit issues getting that in, but I think I know what it is now. So we'll point that one out in the build, but that one's coming along very nicely. And again, this week we've got a couple of reviews up for you. So we've got the Valiant, but obviously with typo on it. So we've got that one, and then obviously we've got the brand new Liberator from Airfix. So this week was pretty much a full-on week. Anyway, it all started on Tuesday, because I was a bit busy on Monday doing washes and things. So we had our Tuesday show for me and Matt, and as you can see on here, so what we're talking about, obviously it's a typo. So as you can see, they spelt it V-I-L, as in Vil, and obviously they got the A and the I the wrong way round as well. But inside, obviously you've seen the review and all the rest of it in a moment, the actual poster, the instructions and everything else are spelt correctly. So very rare this type of thing happens, but yeah, it's one of those ones. It's interesting, but it doesn't take away from that being an absolute great kit. It's very, very good kit in there. Anyway, as always, me and Matt, you know, a bit of debate and topical things of everything that's been going on this week. Matt was pointing out the work he's doing on that's the old Dragon 172nd. Black Widow as well, working on that one. As you can see, we were talking about the new Scout helicopter. I was talking all things chipping and how to do chipping and things like that on the show as well, and showing off obviously all the details we've done on the Y-Wing as well. So I've been pushing along with that one. And then obviously we were talking about the Valiant being spelt wrong. We had a quick look in some of the boxes and the various things generally throughout the entire show. So obviously we're answering questions, talking about new releases, what's coming out, what we're into. And also Matt had up with you a review for the Dora Wings lovely 48 scale P47. This is the C version with that ferry tank underneath it. Again, one of those things we are really sporting now, P47s, because obviously technically the Tamiya one is still a really, really good kit. You know, the old Academy one's not that bad. And then obviously nowadays we've got the Mini Art ones, and now Dora Wings have jumped on there. So any type of P47 you like, including the Razor Black here, then they've got you covered with those ones. So anyway, we've got all of those, and as I say, Matt had his review up. It is up on social media, and you can link it down below, and you can go off and see his review of the actual kit down in there, and a very nice kit it is too. So don't forget, always the shows are free to watch. You can join the conversation and all the bits of it. They're recorded on Tuesdays, all right? So if you want to get on, you can see those as well. Then we had my vlog, and I was talking all things sort of 3D printing. This was for the members. Obviously, I finished off the Y-Wing, and we were talking about things down in there, and obviously we were talking about some of the kits, because I've done the reviews on those, and obviously first of the members' reviews are up this week, and then I was talking about other projects that I'm currently working on, and things about 3D printing, and again, it caused a little bit of debate, which is nice about it, and obviously that's something I just 3D printed off, so we've hollowed it, and for people who sent messages, because a couple of you have, yes, I have got a hole in it. If you see it somewhere on there, you will notice it has actually got a hole in it for drainage. It's at the top there. I've done it in the join. You need to let the resin cure on the inside. Otherwise, if you don't, they do explode, because you get the gases build up inside parts that are hollow. So you need to put a hole somewhere in there until it's totally cured and gone off. Also, you can rinse out the resin and the things like that. Oh, and that's something you weren't supposed to see, but we'll talk about that in a moment as well. So the new trays are coming out next week. So if you want to grab yourself one of our new Flooring Models work trays, they are metal, they are gorgeous, and I'll show you a bit more of that one in a moment. Anyway, that was the vlog that was up for the members only show, which is say the members can watch that in the forum as always, right down in there. And then we had the members live show last night. So again, usual thing, topical thing, all live and everything. I was discussing all things like working on the Apache, so I had a few fit issues and things like that. So again, I was talking about how we fixed that one down in there. Matt was talking about his Black Widow, sorting that one out, and he had a little bit of trouble with his the sort of cowl flap area, things like that, and how we fixed that little problem on there. We was talking all things 3D printing and some 3D printed kits that are available. And coming down the line as well. So Matt's got one of those in there. John was being, well, I would say he's pulling his hair out, but he hasn't got a lot of hair to pull out, talking ghost seams and what a pain they are, and how we're now blaming Tamiya extra thin for it, and moving on to other glues and using things to get rid of ghost seams, and what a pain they are. And they really are, yeah, a horrible thing. Nathan was then doing lots and lots of bits and pieces. He's still working down on the 109, which is looking very nice as well. And I think that's the Miles, whatever it is, as well, kit. So he's working on that one, which is, again, pulling his hair out a little bit on that one as well. And he was talking about weathering and painting and detailing and the MRAP as well on that particular kit. And then Andy was discussing how he's pulling his hair literally out and he doesn't know quite what to do about putting decals over the horns for the rigging and things like that to get them conform onto it. So instead of wrecking it all, he's walked away from it a little bit and he's gone on to sort of a Spitfire for one of the group builds we're currently working at the moment. So that's off to one side. Have a break, have a think about that one, and he's working on some other bits. Plus the fact we were talking all things kit releases and we were discussing clear parts, which we'll talk about in a moment, and everything else down in the show. And then obviously we're answering your questions. And we had some good questions this week. We were talking about silvering of decals, of very thick decals, how they're a bit of a pain and all the rest of it. We were also talking, hold on if I can find things down in here, the actual, what's it called, FAA, that's what we call them, that's it, it's called film free ability decals. Are they any good? Are they still a pain? Are they still, not brilliant, and all the rest of it? So we were discussing those, and then we were discussing about giant decals, getting them down, the best way of putting on big decals, but we were saying technically you could cut it up like they would be in real life, and stuff like that. So yes, we was going on about those. And then I was talking about doing wiggly lines and those types of things as well, how you get wiggly camo patterns and those types of things, and using templates. So again, members, that's our show for us. And again, it's all live interactive. We've got the chat room on and all the things that go along with it, just like that. And then that brings us bang up to today. So completed, the final photos are done, as you can see, part 7 of the 3D printed Y-wing, and we were going through with it. So we were looking at chipping, so different ways of doing chipping, and including a few bloopers in there and beats being added when I tipped silver paint all over myself. And I have to say, IPA, here's a quick tip: if you ever tip a bottle of lacquer based paint, or not, as I say, alcohol-based paint, I should say. But this was the Super Metallics. I tipped it clean over myself, and then I sprayed it all liberally with IPA and put it in the washing machine, and it's all come out, and my jeans have survived. So that was good, and the carpet has as well. Anyway, we were talking all things chipping, different chipping techniques. So we were talking sponges, we were talking freehand, and going through down in here. Then we were talking about acrylic. So obviously bending acrylic rod, because I wanted this one to be at somewhat of an angle, as you can see in front of me in a moment. And as I said, so we're heating it up, we show that in real time, and then fixing and mounting. And there's our little peg done with it as well, keeping it nice and crystal clear. And that's the thing, it's time. You need to heat it up gently and slowly, uniformly right the way over it. Don't heat one side. Just keep rotating it until it goes completely floppy, then bend it into shape, hold it whilst it dries, and then you'll have no frosting and a lot of bubbles or stress marks inside the clear part. All right, and there it is, all mounted up and done. So yes, and there she is, all completed. So yeah, there we go. So a fantastic build, thoroughly enjoyed it. There's lots of reveal photos down in here as well, which you can see. We've got lots of these, lots of close-up ones as well. So if you want to go off and have a look at these, you can do, or you can see the full build as well. Even for non-members, the photo build is up there for it as well, right the way through. So again, it's the first time that I've ever done a full 3D printed kit, start to finish. And well, put it this way, I'm that impressed. I've already started printing off the next project. So absolutely love it and going through with it. So it has been a hell of a lot of fun with that one. And here she is down below. So yes. There it is, all completed and done. And again, the great thing with this is that we could have done it 72nd scale, I could have done 144, or we could make this thing 3 foot long. I think getting bigger than that, well, one, you need a very big 3D printer to fit all this on. Even if you break it down into small parts, you're pretty much limited to how far you can go. But this particular one was designed really for a PLA printer because it's to be a 3 foot monster. We've done this obviously on a normal resin printer. So I've done it this size, but to be honest, this is the size I wanted. I wanted something roughly around, and this thing is around about 50 odd centimeters long, and that's the scale we went for, rather than pick a scale of saying this is 1/32. It's pretty close to 1/32, to be honest. It's probably just a little bit bigger than 1/32, but it fits perfectly. And to be honest with you, I've got a B-wing coming down the line, which I want to tackle as well, and I'm going to do it in the same scale as this one, because it will, but say that will be a little bit further on. We've got other kits we're going to be working on, but you know, for somebody who has never done 3D printed full builds before, especially for sci-fi, it's brilliant. It's really, really good. And I know I've already had some people when I commented about this is the future of 3D printing. No, it won't be, and all the rest of it. I think it will be. I think this is the way it's going to go, because by no means am I an expert on 3D printing. As a lot of you know, followed me, and I've got up some videos. You know, I've really went to this blind. You know, I bought a file, I used it, the system and all the rest of it, sliced it up, made it 200% bigger, put it in the machine, and off we went. A little bit of learning, you know, obviously hollowing out parts, things like that, but still really, really basics of my knowledge of how to do 3D printing, and we achieved this. So I don't think it's too much of a stretch. I think over time, as things become easier, and perhaps if people start to upload files which are literally printer ready, that will just make things even easier for people who aren't into technology and printers and, you know, computer work and things like that. Something where literally you can just put it on a stick, put it in your machine, and that's it, and you'll end up with something like this. That's where I think it will just become a lot more mainstream. And it's something I've spoken to a designer that I've spoken to about doing this type of thing with. Maybe, you know, from a file point of view, to make it more accessible to, you know, the sort of, you know, beginners to 3D printing, that could be an option as well. But definitely, I think the detail is on a par of anything. The detail on this is just the same as the Bandai kit. It's no different. It really, really is nice. And as I said, for accuracy and stuff like that, doesn't matter, because it's sci-fi. So if it is slightly out and there is some differences, what the hell? But at the end of the day, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. And as you know, if you've enjoyed it, that's the whole point of what we do as a hobby. And I think definitely 3D printing stuff now is going to be on par with, and then it will exceed, normal injection molding. I think that's where we're going to go in 20 years time. But again, we will see. But thoroughly enjoyed it. Have a look at the video build. It's only a 7-parter, so it's nothing too big to go through, because again, a lot of it we're talking about how we're working with this, the difference of working with solid resin, obviously the health and safety point of view, and all the bits to it. But it is done, and I am absolutely blown away with it. I absolutely love it. I think it is an absolute great kit. So yeah, enjoyed it. Go off, you'll see some pictures at the end of the show and all the things with it as well, so you'll enjoy that one. Anyway, other things that are going on, we had 2 reviews up this week. So first of all, we had the Valiant, or the Valiant, all right, down in here. And to be honest, it's a great little kit. It is one of those things I said before in the actual review. For the scale being 144 is great for the V-Bomber Force, because it doesn't take up so much room and it does fit on a normal shelf. Where obviously if you go for the 72nd ones, they are big and monsters, and they're wall hangers at the end of the day. Again, a couple of nice options down in there. You've got the camo, or you've sort of got the nuclear white. It does come with a nuclear bomb, does come with the ferry tanks, and again, the, I don't know, the 1,000 pounders are a little bit, yeah, but anyway, it does even come with a little bit of nose weight as well, so really nice. Quite a simple, straightforward kit. I like the way it is. It's a clamshell effect top and bottom, and then you've got this wing section goes right over the top. So from keeping it a seamless point of view, the seams are all really accessible and easy to deal with, and you can see it's very much of a no-brainer really, all of this, and it does fit in there very, very well. Decals all look good as well, so they're very nice. You do get a very precise piece of weight. I can't remember what it was now, 3 point something odd grams, but very precise. Clear parts, yeah, nothing spectacular, but then because of this scale, it doesn't really matter. And again, nice way, but really good solid detail. The panel lining is very fine, very crisp. As I say, the cockpit's all pre-molded in one, so a little bit of painting down in there, I think you'll be good to go. But as you say, the ribbing and the details, as you can see down in here in the bomb bay, really nice considering it's in one. But the recessed details and the raised details, you've got the vortex generators, all the bits and pieces, beautiful, very, very nice kit. Good crisp kit all the way through. And again, nice solid locating pins, and even the detail in the wheel wells, to be honest with you, is really nice kit as well. But anyway, you can go off and you can see the full review of this one now. It's up on the site, and again, you can look at all the high-res photos. If you want a little bit more in detail, you can just pop along and have a look down in there. All right. And then lastly, this week we looked at the new Liberator from Airfix, and again, I always say it's nice to see manufacturers evolve and move forward, and I would say this is another step forward from Airfix, because at the end of the day, there's some really nice touches with this kit. The details are very nice. They're a little bit soft on the inside, but you're not going to see them in this scale anyway, and I think they've done the correct thing. So whereas you might have seen previously is a lot of the details would be adding little boxes and things to sidewalls and that, some of these are just molded in one now, which I think is really, really nice. The engine details a little bit soft as well, but again, because you're dealing with the scale, really I don't think it is a problem. It's a separate nose fit on this one as well, so obviously obviously you're going to see different versions of this one coming out with the glass nose front in the future, as you can see. But again, riveting, very nice. I'd like to see some of the stringer riveting in, if I was being honest, and if I was to do this kit myself, obviously I would re-rivet it to put the stringers in. I think it just adds that next level of detail. That's really what I'd like to see. But apart from that, really nice. Highlight as well is in the inside, not that you're going to see it, but all the ejector pins are hidden behind things, so they're not in the middle of, like, you know, ribbing and stringer work and stuff like that. They've got them tucked out of the way very nicely. But overall, the detail is very sharp and crisp. Very, very nice indeed. And as you can see, I think you're going to turn up with something very, very nice all the way through on this particular kit. So nothing you can get worried about with here. A couple of nice touches with it, to be honest. The guns, you can see the cooling jackets on them and everything else like that, so they're very nice. But for me, the standout was the clear parts. The clear parts are uber clear. It's got nice framing, it's crisp, it's sharp, and the clear parts, even on the domed areas and that, are actually crystal clear. They're quite thin and they're beautifully done. And again, the way that they've done the sidewalls here with the 50s moulded in clear with the clear part for the side turret, again, we were talking about why is it manufacturers on last night's show still insist on not putting to the next former and have like clear part edges right up against glue. And again, nice to see that they've taken care of some of that, or definitely the side parts on this particular kit. So very, very nice indeed. So if you do want to go off and see that review, it is available. Just click on the site and then go to review section. You can see hundreds, literally hundreds and hundreds of reviews. We must be getting near the thousands now of reviews up there as well. So if you want to go through, you can do it. And don't forget, if you want to find anything on the site, just click on the search, type in what you want. It does work very well, and you can go off and get any bits and pieces you want just like that. So good job on those ones. Lastly, up over on the PM store, obviously we haven't got much of a sale section in here currently, because what we've got is something for you tomorrow, which we will do, but we have got some bits up in here. The Valiant has sold, so unfortunately that one's gone, but the other bits are up here, and there's a couple of my other review samples as well. So that's my review one that I actually had for the Grumman A6 intruder and the Sikorsky as well. So they're my review ones, and again, if you want my review sample of that one, they're up there, so you get a nice little bit of discount on top. I do rebag them and keep them all nice and tidy as I possibly can as well, so you don't have to worry about that. But if you do want anything, just pop over to the pmmodelsuk.com store. We've got your back for pretty much everything, all your tools, your sundries, your paints, your glues, and all your bits and pieces. As always, they are up there right now for you to go. So yes, good job. So what a busy week this week has been. This is the trays we're talking about. So these are solid metal. They are metal, they are magnetic, so if you put a magnet on it, you use them as a screw holder. It's not a sticker or anything else like that. They have been printed for us, so actually it's done in black, and obviously this is in, so it's not a sticker just stuck on a black tray. These were done for us. We've got a limited number of 100. They're going to go on sale possibly tomorrow, if not it'll be next week if I get a bit of time. So if you want to grab yourself one of these, you can do, but they're great for putting your tools in, putting your parts in, and all your bits and pieces just like that. Or failing that, as pointed out, you could use it putting your sandwich on, or even an ashtray. So you've got something like that. But it's just a little bit of a new line that we were doing. We thought it'd be quite nice, and to be honest, I've been using mine solidly since I've got it, so it is a little bit of handy kit. So if you do fancy one of those, keep an eye out on the Flooring Models store. It'll be up there very, very soon with you. Doesn't end here though, because don't forget, we're back up with you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. UK time. We're going to be on with you with a live show, free and open to the world. We'll be on YouTube. YouTube chat will be on as well. So if you've got any questions, comments, usual bit of feedback, things like that, if you want to talk to us about anything at all, feel free to get involved with those. Members, don't forget, you can use the Flooring Models chat room as always, and we'll make sure you get the priority. So yeah, and that's about it. So we'll be with you really to around about sort of 12 o'clock. Going to do some building, answering questions, demos, talking. PM Models has got a couple of really big discounts on various manufacturers as well, so if you want to get anything from them, you can do, and I'm going to do a little bit of a deal on a few bits and pieces on the Flooring Models store as well. So yeah, good job. Anyway, that's about it from me. As always on a Friday, I'm going to leave you with your great work from the gallery. So until tomorrow, hopefully 10 a.m, bright and early. We'll see you soon.
I'm wasted.